Hey guys, I am still awake. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just trying to get a couple things done here, just little small jobs. But I figured I would show you guys what we gotta do to check out and terminate some Cat 5e or 6 wire. Basically, this is the wire that you would use for your internet or something like cameras. So to test these cables, I use this Greenlee communicator. This piece just basically comes right out of the end of it. Basically right in here. So just plug this in here to test it. So this is in the one end. And then the other end just goes into here. And then if you can see on there, it's getting a bit of a glare. What it's saying is miswire or split. So the customer that gave this stuff to me is having problems with their network cables. They thought they could go and just try to terminate it themselves, and didn't have a tester to know if the cable was even good. So I'll show you guys how to do this properly. Alright. Cut these ends off, they're no good anymore. So I got this tool. Basically, it's good for doing Cat 6 or coax wires. These things right here are actually interchangeable, so you can swap these out depending on what you're doing. You can see how that comes out right here. But what that does is just strips your wire, and it's already sized big enough to pull this off without actually making any of the cable. Alright, so what I've done here is I've separated all of the wires. Basically there's 4 pairs, and I like to take them and make sure that they're all separate from each other. The goal is to try to make this easy to go in your connector, so I just take a screwdriver and all I'm doing is trying to straighten all of these wires out. Basically now they don't have any of the kinks in the wire. It makes it easier for when we're actually putting them in the proper order. Now, to know what order to use, there's 2 methods. There's basically the A style and a B style. And if you get this type of a crimper, well, you can see it on there, but right here it shows the A style and the B style, and then the order in which you'd actually put those pairs. So it makes it quite simple. Typically the one that I use is the A style, but what really matters is as long as you actually do the same on either end of your cable. Alright, just to jump ahead for you, so I use the A style, and it says on here to use your green white, then your green, then your orange white, then blue, your blue white, orange, then brown white, brown. So basically that's exactly what I did from one side to the other. So green white green, orange white, blue, blue white, orange, brown white, brown. Once I've got them all lined up like this, I take a pair of side cutters and cut them so that they're nice and flat. That makes it so that it's a lot easier when we put them inside our connector. They'll slide in easy. So the one thing to remember is the clip on your connector is facing away from you, so you're looking at the bottom side, and that's the way that your green, white, green all the way through all of your colors go in here. So you stick them through, super handy with feed through connectors, so you can actually see that it's done properly. You can separate them on this side, that you've got your green, white, green all the way through before you make a crimp, because once you've crimped it, that's your final. So now I push this in as tight as possible, and the reason you do that is so that all of these pairs are maintaining the twists, and that's actually what creates a bandwidth when it comes to like an internet and your speed. So to have a good connection, you want as little of the straight wire as possible through your connection point. So you straighten them out, and then when you push this on, you push it in tight. Then you can put it in your connector, crimp it. That actually cuts off all these ends, and then you've got a nice end crimped. And we'll do the other side, and then we'll see if it tests out positive. Okay, just jumping ahead for you guys. I got the second end done, and just to kind of remind you guys, this I call the back side, which is the side that's opposite of the clip. This is the clip side. So on the back side, if you go left to right, it should be your green, white, green all the way through your pairs to your brown, white, brown. And then if you've done it good, you can see there. It's kind of shitty. Doesn't really focus in on there, but anyways, it's really close to the end, right where the gold parts are. So I've pushed a lot of it in there, which basically means that none of these wires are very straight for very long, and it goes back to the twists that they naturally have in their pairs as soon as possible. But to test it out, again, doing the same thing. Just clip it into both sides. And if you can see, it should tell you pass. And then there's no blinking pairs all the way through. And that's a good cable. Okay, I've got the other end. So this is actually a female connector for a Cat 6 or Cat 5 cable. You need a little bit different tool, but basically this is what you would usually see if you tie in like a wall jack in your house. That's usually what you would see. So on the back side of it, as you can see, there is colors, and so they're all color coded for you. And it's no different than the male. You still gotta match your A to A. So there's the two styles, and it says it right on the connector if you're doing this yourself. There's an A style and a B style, and all you do is you just match these colors together. Tool you use, this is a punch down tool. Basically all it is it pushes the wire in, pushes your wire in just like so, but on the one side it's actually got a basically it's got an end that will cut the wire off. So I'll show you how that actually happens here in a second. Start off by wringing off the outside jacket again. You don't need this string, so you can cut that out. And I take all my wires So you have to take these individual pairs, separate them individually. After you separate them, I always just straighten them out. Doesn't so much matter on these female connectors, but it sure does help having straight wires rather than all kinked up from their twists. So now that I've got these, again, the same concept. You want where you cut the outside jacket to be as tight as you can to here, so that you have as little of this, each conductor, straight as possible, because you want it to go back to the twists again as soon as possible. So now you can see I've got my blue wire in the blue spot, and you can see that there's an A and a B. So the A is the pattern that we're following, which is the bottom side, so it'll be blue, then orange, then brown white. Using this tool, punch it down. As you see, it cuts the end of the wire off for you, and it keeps it super tight right in there. So I'll speed this up and then show you the finish. Okay, so this is the finished product. That's what it looks like. As you can see, it's got some nice clean cut lines. They're not too long on the edges. And you can see we use the A pattern, so it goes blue, then orange, then brown white. And on the opposite side, we've got the green on the left, then the green white, the orange white, and the blue. And if you can see, the green white is slightly higher than the rest of them. I usually just go back and push that down or punch it down again, just to make sure that they're tight right against the bottom there.